Good evening and many thanks for joining us. You're watching QTV Nightly News, coming to you live from our studios on Caraba Avenue with me, Ansmane Sonyase. First, here are the main news headlines. On the first day of the ongoing nationwide oral polio vaccination campaign, the First Lady of the Gambia, Fatoumata Barbaro, and the Mayor of Banjul, Rohey Malick Lowe, have urged parents and caregivers to ensure their children receive the vaccine. At COP29 in Baku, Azerbaijan, world leaders, including the Gambian delegation, are setting ambitious targets for renewable energy expansion with commitments aimed at reducing carbon emission. Bloomberg Africa on Monday held a breakfast meeting on trade on the theme, a discourse on trade and trade-enabling infrastructure. And the Office of National Security, in collaboration with the African Union, hosted a validation session to review the findings and recommendations of the security sector reform strategy and development in the Gambia. In international news, a journalist detained in an Eritrean prison without trial for 23 years has won a Swedish Human Rights Prize for his exceptional courage and commitment to the freedom of the press. Well, stay tuned for more of these and other stories. And now here's the news in focus. On the first day of the ongoing nationwide oral polio vaccination campaign, the First Lady of the Gambia, Fatoumata Barbaro, and the Mayor of Banjul, Rohey Malick Lowe, have urged parents and caregivers to ensure their children receive the polio vaccine as part of the fight against the disease. Loliam Kamara accompanied the vaccination team in Banjul and filed this report.
Health officials, with support from partners such as the WHO and UNICEF, are working diligently to protect children from the threat of polio virus. At the polyclinic in Banjul, mothers seized the opportunity to vaccinate their babies, ensuring their protection against the disease. Dr. Mustafa Bitte, the Chief Medical Director of the Edward Francis Small Teaching Hospital, thanked all those who have supported the ministry in this important effort. The Minister of Health, Dr. Ahmadu Lamin Samate, emphasized the significance of the campaign and thanked First Lady Fatoumata Barbaro for her ongoing support to the Ministry of Health.
She had been there from the onset. And it's interesting for you to all know, well before she became First Lady of the Republic of the Gambia, she was supporting this hospital. She was buying from her own pocket items to donate to the neonatal unit, not knowing that one day she'll be head of, she'll become the First Lady and head of the women of this country. That's all by the grace of the Almighty Allah. But ever since she had been supporting this hospital in and out and the entire health sector, she has a foundation that has been pivotal. In fact, has been one of our best local partners in the health sector. She gets donations from all over the world, and every one of those donations is delivered to the health sector of this country. It is remarkable, to this hospital and to other hospitals throughout the length and breadth of this country.
After administering the first dose, First Lady shared an important message for all parents and caregivers.
Polio is a disease that leads to disability, and sometimes it kills. And I believe in this life, prevention does not cost anything, but curing costs a lot of money. And I want the mothers to be taking their children for child welfare for at least the 5 complete years, because they're preventing their children from getting sick.
The Mayor of Banjul, Rohey Malick Lowe, is a passionate advocate for ensuring that all children under the age of 5 receive their vaccinations.
A campaign that is very, very close to my heart. For those who know me and has read my manifesto, this was part of my manifesto to make a campaign and make sure that every child under the age of 5 should be given the polio vaccination. So for me, today it's like I'm vindicated. I am so happy to have my dreams come true.
This phase of vaccinations is from the 12th to the 15th of November and the second round of the oral polio vaccination campaign will take place from December 12 to 15, 2024. For QTV News, Loli M. Kamara.
Now, away from the polio vaccination campaign at COP29 in Baku, Azerbaijan, world leaders, including the Gambia's delegation, are setting ambitious targets for renewable energy expansion with commitments aimed at reducing carbon emissions, fostering energy independence, and driving innovation. Senabu Chow's story is narrated by Mamna Bukar.
Renewable energy offer a way out of import dependency, allowing countries to diversify their economies and protect themselves from the unpredictable price swings of fossil fuels, while driving inclusive economic growth, new jobs, and poverty alleviation. The Gambia inaugurated its first large-scale solar energy facility in April 2023 in Jambur, which is equipped with an 8 MW electricity storage system and is part of efforts to reduce the country's reliance on imported fossil fuels. The Minister of Environment and Climate Change, Rohi John Manjang, was a panelist at the Renewable Energy Hub at the COP29 conference, co-organized by the World Trade Organization and the Global Renewable Energy Alliance.
Actually, what the discussion all took us to engage among other stakeholders and strong alliance and also business people who are also experts in renewable energy. It has been indicated that the market is very diverse. We have several types of renewable energy that have been used, including solar and wind energy. But then again, the issue here is building synergy among these different diverse interest groups and also the new markets. But again, tailoring this access to these developed countries based on their economic size and their portfolios, which is very critical. In as much as market is available, the market needs to be standardized. That's what we also discuss, and regulated. But we have a global body, which is the WTO, that regulates matters of trade, and they also include matters of renewable energy, both the supply and the market portfolio. But again, I mentioned that whatever we're going to get, so long as the developing countries are the hardest hit, even though we are the least contributors, we need to be also captured in all these chains, which is very important.
She further explains the Gambia's efforts to mitigate climate change.
As a government, I think the Gambia is doing very well when it comes to efforts in mitigating climate change. Government now has agreed to work through a PPP model to get their economic base also supported. We understand that the market is very risky, especially with the developing countries. So what we can do is to also minimize risk. How can we minimize risk is for government also to chip in, and that can be done in a PPP arrangement. So that is a new way that we want to also accelerate our SDGs to make sure that we are able to meet halfway with investors, private partners, and also new young ones that are entrepreneurs coming into the business.
Azerbaijan, the COP29 host, says it is committed to leading by example with its intention to increase renewable power capacity to 30% by 2030 and hopes to diversify its existing energy system to become a leader in green energy. Mamna Buka, reporting for QTV News.
Now, Bloomberg Africa on Monday held a breakfast meeting on trade on the theme A Discourse on Trade and Trade Enabling Infrastructure. Amadou Tamba has the story.
Which is the first such event organized by Bloomberg, brought together business leaders, policymakers, and institutions for meaningful dialogue and an opportunity to explore trade and trade-enabling infrastructure. Establishing a platform like this for stakeholders to exchange ideas and build partnership is crucial, laying the groundwork for infrastructure investment that will set a strong foundation for suitable economic growth. Dr. Rashid Olalua, board chairman of Bloomberg Gambia Limited, emphasized that the gathering marks a significant milestone in Gambia's collective effort to strengthen economic resilience and enhance integration across Africa. He also highlighted Bloomberg's commitment to supporting Gambia's broader economic ambitions.
As Africa, and indeed the world, faces unprecedented opportunities and challenges, the Gambia is making concerted efforts to solidify its position as a key player in regional and global trade. The country's economic outlook is increasingly positive.
The event was also an opportunity to explore ways to unlock Africa's economic potential. Representing the governor of the Central Bank of the Gambia, Bua Sedi, Dr. Lamin Mane, a senior advisor at the Central Bank, commended Bloomberg Africa for spearheading this important dialogue, recognizing its role in fostering meaningful discussions for the continent's economic development.
This theme speaks directly to the aspirations of our nation, and it highlights the pivotal role of trade in fostering economic growth, structural and inclusive development, not just locally, but also more broadly within the continental context.
Alan Thierry Mbongi, CEO of Afreximbank Anglophone West Africa, praised the initiative, noting that the event comes at a pivotal moment when Africa is on the cusp of an extraordinary economic transformation.
Platforms such as this are where our aspirations converge, where we establish partnership, and where we align our strategic priorities to transform Africa's economy.
Mr. Alfred Amoa is the MD, CEO Bloombank Africa Gambia Limited.
For example, if you want to trade across Africa, PAPS is there, as we see. We started PAPS, we were the first bank to start PAPS. And when it came, I was surprised about the volumes. I didn't know that people really wanted to trade like that. I had a lot of volumes, people coming in to transfer in local currency because there was no dollar issue. Now, the problem is after they transfer, the next question is how do we get our goods into the country? How do we get our goods out of the country? So we decided that fine, as Bloombank, and I think every other financial institution should decide that, to go into partnership.
The event featured a panel discussion on trade and infrastructure, which brought together various stakeholders to explore both the opportunities and challenges within the trading landscape. For QTV News, Amadou Tamba.
And the report there by Amadou Tamba will lead us to the commercial break, but we will be right back.
Looking for internet for your free videos, pictures, chats, work and school projects? Think free night browsing. QCell's free night browsing lets you browse the internet for free. Oh yeah. Get a data SIM, recharge a minimum of $500 and enjoy free browsing after 24 hours from midnight to 6 a.m. every night for 30 days. QCell, Sunubus. We innovate, others follow.
Introducing the QSmart and QSmart Plus, where innovation meets affordability. Capture life's precious moments with stunning clarity thanks to our high-resolution cameras. Enjoy uninterrupted performance with a fast processor and a long-lasting battery that keeps up with your day. The QSmart offers a 5.9-inch immersive display, powerful performance, and an all-day battery life, all for just $3,400. Plus get an incredible bundle of 15 gigabytes of data, 120 minutes of talk time, and 300 SMS absolutely free. Upgrade to the QSmart Plus featuring a faster processor and extended battery life and a larger 6.5-inch screen for just $4,000. With it, you receive a massive 30 gigabytes of data, 300 SMS, and 120 minutes of talk time completely free. All bundles are spread across a 3-month period. Don't miss out. Get your QSmart or QSmart Plus from QCell today. Discover the best in quality and value right here in the Gambia. Available at all QCell customer care centers across the country. For more information, call 111. QCell Senior Boss. We innovate, others follow.
Thanks for staying with us. And if you're just tuning in, you're watching QTV Nightly News coming to you live from our studios on Caraba Avenue. I'm Ansmane Sonyasi. Now, the Office of National Security, in collaboration with the African Union, hosted a validation session on Monday to review the findings and recommendations of the security sector reform strategy and development in the Gambia. Yafatu Gay attended the event and Sina reports.
Following a comprehensive security sector reform process in the Gambia, which has been ongoing since the change of government in 2017, this forum aims to review and validate the progress made in the key priority areas of the process. Mrs. Joycelyn Nahimana, the head of the Security Sector Reform SSR Division at the African Union Commission, emphasized the crucial role of monitoring and evaluation in ensuring the effectiveness of SSR for national security.
The AU Commission, through its current Department of Political Affairs, Peace and Security, has continued to collaborate with the government of the Gambia in line with the AU SSR policy framework to maintain the momentum in security governance, since the security governance is crucial for political stability, peace, security, and development.
Omar B. Bojang, the Deputy National Security Advisor, says the reform aims to promote accountability, safeguard human rights, and enhance the protection of citizens in the country.
These frameworks serve as the cornerstone of our reform security sector, ensuring consistency and professionalism across all security institutions. Our reform institutions now operate within an enhanced focus on their specific mandates, leading to improved efficiency and effectiveness in service delivery. Perhaps most importantly, we have fostered a culture of transparency, accountability, and respect for human rights within our security sector. This transformation represents not just a change in procedures, but a fundamental shift in the mindset and approach of our security services, ensuring they better serve and protect our citizens while upholding democratic principles.
Ibrahim Chernojeng, the lead consultant, gave a presentation of an overview of the validation process and the progress of the security sector reform process. The security sector reform is one of the several initiatives launched by the Barrow-led administration with the aim of creating a security framework that upholds the rule of law, respects citizens' fundamental human rights, and it's both professional and accountable to the public. Reporting for QTV News, I am Yafa Tugay.
Now, the National Population Commission Secretariat under the Office of the Vice President officially launched the establishment of a legal advisory committee for the Sweat Plus legal project on Tuesday. This initiative is part of the government's ongoing efforts to eliminate all forms of violence against women and girls. Usman Jata tells us more.
As with many nations, the Gambia faces the persistent challenges of tackling child marriage, gender-based violence, and limited opportunities for girls and women. As part of efforts to address these issues, the government has partnered with the Sub-Saharan Africa Women's Demographic Dividend Plus project. This ambitious initiative aims to empower adolescent girls and women and break down the barriers that hinder their progress. This orientation session aims to introduce and sensitize the newly appointed members of the National Population Commission's Advisory Committee. Mariama Fane, the Director of Population Affairs at the National Population Commission Secretariat, is leading this initiative.
With the launch of the advisory body for the Sweat Plus legal platform, comprising esteemed senior lawyers and experts in their field, the advisory committee will provide valuable strategic guidance to the legal platform. Their expertise will enhance the ability of the country legal platform in their engagements to create a robust legal environment that supports the goal of the Sweat Plus project.
Established in 1997, the National Population Commission Secretariat is a central authority responsible for coordinating the national population policy and programs. Through advocacy and research, the Secretariat strives to improve the quality of life for all citizens. The Sweat Plus platform has taken a significant step forward by developing a comprehensive and concise legal text. Hussein Tomasi is the Solicitor General at the Ministry of Justice.
Our pursuit of justice knows no boundary, and in unity we can build a strong legal system as a beacon of hope premised on fairness and equity for generations to come.
The advisory committee brings together a diverse group of legal experts, policy advisors, development professionals, and religious leaders. They will collaborate closely with the National Population Commission and other ministries to advance the cause of women and girls. Nene MC Cham, a prominent private legal practitioner and women's advocate, and Imam Usman Jah are among the members of the newly formed Legal Advisory Committee.
We know the project is mainly focused on this group of adolescent young girls, how to help promote them, their lives in all aspects, be it in terms of education, to ensure that they grow up to be very productive and healthy, to be engaged in nation building. Giving the advice and the guidance that is necessary, because this is a problem. We have these laws, for example, laws on gender-based violence. They're there, but enforcement.
Because we believe in Allah and we believe in our divine laws. So to do anything or to leave anything, we need religious opinion to support it. That is why it is very wise to try to have religious people among the members of this committee.
The establishment of the Sweat Plus Legal Advisory Committee marks a significant milestone for the Gambia as it strives towards a future characterized by inclusive growth and sustainable population development. Osman Jata, QTV News.
And time now for international news in a moment. Now, a journalist detained in an Eritrean prison without trial for 23 years has won a Swedish Human Rights Prize for his exceptional courage and commitment to freedom of press. More on the story with Alusise.
David Isaac, who holds dual Eritrean Swedish citizenship and one of the founders of Setit, Eritrea's first independent newspaper, has been given the Edelstam Prize for his exceptional courage. He was detained in 2001 after his paper published letters demanding democratic reforms. David's daughter, Bethlehem Isaac, will accept the prize on the 19th of November in Stockholm on behalf of her father, who still remains in prison. In 2015, Bethlehem did a video in which she said a message of hope to the father, whom she has not seen since 2001. Caroline Edelstam, chair of the prize jury, said David Isaac is the longest detained journalist in the world. There have been calls for his release as concerns grow about his health and his whereabouts unknown. Eritrea's journey to independence was defined by a 30-year war against Ethiopian rule, a fight that forged a deep sense of national identity. In 1993, Eritreans voted overwhelmingly for independence, and Isaias Afwerki became the country's first president, a position he holds to this day. Since then, Eritrea has emphasized national unity and self-reliance, policies that have both shaped development and led to international isolation. One of the country's most controversial policies is its national service program. Established with the intention of supporting national development and security, the program requires Eritreans to serve indefinitely in military or public service. However, it has been heavily criticized by international human rights organizations who describe it as forced labor. Despite these challenges, Eritrea has made significant strides in certain areas. The peace agreement signed with Ethiopia in 2018 marked a turning point, ending decades of hostility and isolation. However, the Eritrean government was alleged to have sided with the Ethiopian government in the recent regional conflict in Ethiopia's Tigray region. Eritrea's government has also maintained strict control over freedom of expression, with limited tolerance for political dissent and press freedom. The case of David Isaac, a journalist detained without trial since 2001, is an example. Although Isaac's case has occasionally made the headlines, he is only one of the several political prisoners allegedly still imprisoned in Eritrea, many of them without trial, and many of whom have not been heard of for several years. Reporting for QTV News, I am Alusise.
And I'm afraid this is where we draw the curtains on this bulletin. But before we take a leave of you, here's a recap from main headlines. On the first day of the ongoing nationwide oral polio vaccination campaign, the First Lady of the Gambia, Fatoumata Barbaro, and the Mayor of Banjul, Rahim Malik Low, have urged parents and caregivers to ensure their children receive the vaccine. At COP29 in Baku, Azerbaijan, world leaders, including the Gambia's delegation, are setting ambitious targets for renewable energy expansion with commitments aimed at reducing carbon emissions. Bloomberg Africa on Monday held a breakfast meeting on trade on the theme, a discourse on trade and trade-enabling infrastructure. The Office of National Security, in collaboration with the African Union, hosted a validation session to review the findings and recommendations of the security sector reform strategy and development in the Gambia. And in international news, a journalist detained in an Eritrean prison without trial for 23 years has won a Swedish Human Rights Prize for his exceptional courage and commitment to freedom of press. Well, that's all we have for in this bulletin. Do join us at 10 p.m. for another bulletin. Until then, thanks for watching.